Hello, I'm Irma Muniz with Corpus Christi Independent School District's Office of Instructional Technology. Today, I will be taking you through Google Docs and that portion of our Get Googled series. When using Google Docs, you first go to the Google Drive application and then select the New button so that you'll receive a drop-down menu in which you will select Google Docs. This is similar to Microsoft Word in that it enables you to type documents. And when you enter Google Docs, you will see certainly familiar icons that enable you to impact in different ways, such as formatting, the things that you have typed. So you'll notice if you just point then to some of these icons, once you reach the typing area, you will see that this is where you might select a font. This is where you can certainly bold, italicize items, underscore them, and so on and so forth. You'll notice also in Google Docs that when you enter a brand new document, as we've just did, you will be asked to title the document at the top left by clicking on it to select it and typing the name. For this example, however, I'm not going to type a document from scratch, so I will not name it just quite yet. The purpose of this demonstration is to show users how to use templates. So in order to access the templates, I will move the cursor to this blue box that really has no label on it, but pointing to it enables me to see that this is called the Docs Home. And this is where one will find the templates by going to Docs Home. There's another advantage of going into this area. Besides seeing available templates, one can locate recently created documents. Because sometimes when using Google Docs or Google Slides or Google Sheets, from time to time, they may be unable to locate their documents, especially if they cannot remember what they named it. So if I'm trying to locate a Google document that I previously created, I will do as I've just done, select New as if I'm typing a brand new document, and then go into this blue button called the Docs Home on the top left, so that I can then see the most recent Google documents that I've created. I can also then see templates that are available to use. These templates show at the top. If I don't see enough templates, I can certainly click on the More button and you'll notice when I do that additional templates will show. If you just scroll, you'll see that there are templates for letters, essays, resumes, business letters, and so on. There are some you'll notice for even class notes, for lesson plans, project proposals. The one I'm going to use for this demonstration is the one that's called Meeting Notes Modern Writer, because I have to create an agenda for a meeting and I want to do it quickly so it'll look professionally without my having to create it from scratch. So having located the one called Meeting Notes, I'll double click and allow that template to appear. You'll notice at the top left that this document automatically comes with a name, Meeting Notes. So what I will do to change the name is I will click my mouse after the word Notes, put a space, and put the date of the meeting or perhaps the name of the people that I am meeting with. So for this demonstration, I will assume that I'm going to just put the date so that I can quickly remember. We'll say December the 16th. We'll say December the 16th. and press enter. That will enable me then to begin typing my document. The purpose of a template is to type without having to type everything from scratch. So what I'm going to do is basically replace the words that come with the template. Rather than having the words your company, I will type Corpus Christi Independent School District. I'll put it on caps lock so that everything will appear in capital letters. I will replace meeting name with the words parent meeting. And the date will instead say 12/16/15. Even this I can replace. I'll type the 15 and I'm good to go. You'll notice then that I can select attendees and change the names to include the actual attendees. So I might have Norma Alvarez attending. I'll have Rene Pantoja. And Brandy Addison. In the agenda, I can certainly change these words that you'll notice are highlighted in red, and they just do that so that it would look nice and professional. Instead of saying last meeting follow-up, I can say, no, I'm just going to say follow-up. Reminders. And so on and so forth. So you'll notice then that a template enables me to replace items by typing my own information. I'd like to also come back up and demonstrate one item on this toolbar. And I usually teach this as I'm teaching the available options from the toolbar. And one of those things that I'm able to do is highlight words. To give you an example then, let's assume that I want to highlight the word attendees. And so I can certainly select the word and then point to the icon that's called text color. You'll find it interesting that when you select that, you really can either change the color of the actual text, or you can say, no, I really want a little highlighter. So by selecting the word highlight, selecting the color, and then I've got my attendees highlighted. The reason I do this is so that I can have a reminder to myself to perhaps change the names at the last minute, because I'm uncertain which attendees will actually be there. So I'm just doing this as a note to myself. I can always select the word again later on when I get closer to the meeting, come back up to this highlighting tool and say, change my mind. No highlighting. So that's just one of the features that is available through the toolbar. I will now describe some other features that make Google Docs rather unique and powerful, and that feature is called the Research Tools. I access the Research Tools by pointing to the Tools menu, and I select Tools, Research. Notice it brings a window pane to the right side, which in essence gives me an actual window into the internet without even having to leave my document. You'll notice the word agenda because I've used these research tools before, And the last thing that I had typed in there was the word agenda. So for now, I will backspace until I cannot type anything else. And you'll notice then that when there's absolutely nothing typed, there is a drop-down menu that appears with the words everything, images, scholar, quotes, dictionary, and tables, so that I can filter what it is I actually would like to search. Well, since I'm representing in this agenda the Corpus Christi Independent School District, I'm going to search for images and see if I can find the CCISD logo. So once I've indicated that I want to filter for images, I will type Corpus Christi Independent School District. And as I'm typing, it's actually searching the internet. And I have found exactly what I would like, and that is a logo that I can place in the header. At times, it might be a little bit difficult to place the logo directly into the header because it might do some strange things. So what I usually do is I first create space by pressing Enter on a sentence to bring it down. And I place it first here in the actual document, and then I drag it up to the header itself. It might just make it a little bit easier. You can certainly do that, or you can just try dragging it straight into the header box if that's your preference. So I'm going to click and drag. That means I'm going to press my finger down on the mouse on the desired image, hold it down as I drag my image to the left, and then I release. Now, before placing it at the top and indicating exactly where I want to place this image, I will select it once first by clicking on it, allowing a blue square to appear, and some words underneath the image will also give me some options. So I'm going to select Wrap Text. And what I'm saying is, regardless of where I place this image, I would like for you to wrap words around it and make room for the image with words surrounding it. I also might want to make the image a little bit smaller. If that's my preference, I will take my mouse and point to one of the corner boxes, and then I'm going to hold my mouse button down and drag toward the center of the actual image itself. So let's go upward slightly toward the middle, and then I release. Now that I have the size that I want, I'm going to select it one more time and drag this logo upward, hoping to get it right around the left in the header area. And I've done a pretty good job of it. But you'll notice the words Corpus Christi Independent School District and Parent Meeting are a little bit too high. So one thing I can do is take my mouse and click it just before the letter C for Corpus Christi Independent School District, and then press Enter on the keyboard a couple of times, and that'll bring it down. You'll have to just explore and play with this so that placement might be a little bit more to your liking. Now I think I might be able to make it even a little bit bigger again by again pointing my mouse to a corner square. And this time I'm going to drag away from the center of the image, getting it exactly the way I'd like it. So these are images. You'll also notice that wherever I placed my image, in this case, I initially placed it here, and perhaps this little number 1 might have looked better if I had initially placed the image here on top. What this number 1 is a citation. You'll notice if I scroll down to the bottom of the document, it has actually cited the source of the image that I've placed in the document, which is really something that we teach students to do. In fact, it looks pretty scholarly when somebody can insert a quote in a document that they've created. So in searching for a quote, it's going to ask you the name of the person rather, that has created that quote. And I'm going to search for Deepak Chopra. Left out an E. Let's try this. And there we go. There's Deepak Chopra's quotes. Now, before I actually try and place that quote in my document, I will warn you that the trick to doing this one is to actually make a little bit of space where you're going to want that quote to appear. Sometimes I actually take the bottom part of the document and place it on the next page so that I can have space right here, right toward the bottom. And I'm going to select my mouse before I actually go back and say insert the quote. So here we go. I like this one. Anything that is of value in life only multiplies when it is given. So the way I will select that quote and insert it in my document is to click on the insert button underneath that quote, and there it is, right at the bottom. You'll notice there's a little number 2 after the quote because there's a citation for it as well. So please play with these research tools. They are of immense value, and I believe you will see that you'll be able to insert items that you need for your agenda, all coming from the internet, without even having to leave the document. And that is absolutely a very powerful tool to have. For right now, I will close the research tools and continue typing my document. I'd like to show you one last thing, and that is the capability of inserting hyperlinks. Oftentimes, it's a good idea to distribute documents through Google by sharing them with others. So, for example, then, in terms of new business in this document, I'm going to replace these words and enter the words new instructional technology website. I would like for you to understand then that anytime you insert a hyperlink, the reader that has received your online agenda can automatically go there. So let's do that right now. I will highlight the words Instructional Technology Website. And by the way, I know the website address in my mind. If you don't know the website address of that website that you're trying to locate, before actually doing this, you might just go to a brand new tab and search for that website, and then copying and pasting the website address. I'm having a little bit of problem here, so let's just do it this way. I will go straight to another Google site, or rather a Google tab, and I'm going to make sure that this is the website that I want to go to, and sure enough it is. So I can now highlight by clicking one time on the website address and then typing Control-C on the keyboard to copy it. When I say Control-C, the keyboard will have a key, CTRL. If you'll glance down at your keyboard, you'll notice that you're going to hold that down with your left index finger, and as you keep it held down, you will tap and release the letter C. That puts it in your clipboard. So now I can return to my actual document of the meeting notes. Now I can go back and highlight the words Instructional Technology Website. And this is the icon that enables me to insert a link into the words I've just highlighted. So I'll select it, and it will ask me for the website address. So I'll paste it here. Pasting is Control V, and then clicking the Apply button. I always like to test my links once I've inserted them into my documents. So now I will point my mouse to the words and click once. I get a little drop-down hyperlink so that I'm able to select it and ensure that it's going to take me to the website address that I want. So, we've covered quite a bit of information. This has been a demonstration of Google Docs.